Hey YouTube, hey vinyl community, it's Scott here, Bike Beer Run 1960, and I'm finally got around to making another video. I'm making a vinyl video, and I'm just making a simple video with my webcam here. No editing or nothing. And I'm calling this Winter of Our Discontent. Like was there a famous novel called Winter of Our Discontent or something? I can't recall. But I'm putting discs in brackets because this is winter of my content. I'm content that I feel I'm kind of blessed by my circumstances right now. I quit that job, the job that I kind of depicted in my last video. I'm so glad to be out of that pressure. It might seem like if you watch that, if you tough it out for the 10 minutes. It seems like I'm kind of relaxed, but I kind of made that unit slowly because the actual making of that thing is simple, but doing it there was difficult. I had to deal with a lot of difficult circumstances, but I'm not going to like complain. I don't want an employer to somehow stumble on that or stumble on what I'm saying here, but I'm happy to be not working right now. I'm in no rush to look for another job. I don't have to look for another job. I'm not drawing unemployment. I'm getting a lot of things done that I never had to get done. But so it's like, I almost want to wait till spring. I'm the type of person, I wish I could just hibernate every winter up here in Wisconsin. What bugs me is, I wish we didn't even have the so-called daylight savings time. It's like when the sun goes down at like 4:30 to 5 o'clock in the evening. That's like way too soon for me. I hate going out at night. But so it's a winter of discontent. When I mean discs, obviously I'm talking vinyl records here. So, and I also want to talk about what kind of records I'm going to show. I have a pretty big backlog of stuff, and another reason why I didn't make videos for a while is I kind of wanted to purge my collection just to make space for the stuff that I'm going to show you. And I'm probably going to make this video and a couple other videos in quick succession so I can actually file these videos in my collection. And I think even then I'm going to have to do another purge because there's nothing worse than having like a collection where you have to like shoehorn a lot of you probably know this. You got to like shoehorn things in, and then if you want to take a record out to play or you want to take a few records out, there's always it's always kind of a bummer. Then it's like if you don't have things sticking out so you remember where that was, you want to file them back in whatever order, whatever way that you ordered your collection in. I do it by alphabetical, by artist, by whether group name or artist last name, things like that. So, but like I said, a lot of these finds are country, and I wasn't really a big country collector. I mean, I was always on the lookout for like classic country artists, but I never really got around to start really playing them. But I did enthusiastically watch that PBS documentary on country music, and when it was up free on the PBS website, I watched it. I watched each episode like 2 or 3 times, and I watched it when it was broadcast. They broadcast, I think, each episode like 2 or 3 times too. Now, if you want to watch it, you got to have their little PBS passport thing, which I'm not crazy about, but I'm also considering maybe buying the DVD set. I don't know, but I thought it was really, really well done, and that kind of like re-sparked my interest in that. And I've been playing some of these records too, not all of them. Haven't had time, but So that's where I am really as far as that. And another thing is like on the flip side, I guess you'd say I did watch the CMA Awards, and I watched it with an open mind, and you know it's what they call country music now is not. It's all Hollywood showbiz kind of gloss, trying to be all rock and roll, you know, like pyrotechnics and sophistication, but it's like, you know, some of it is okay, but it just doesn't have that kind of integrity that they had of the artists of the past or whatever. That's my opinion. But without further ado, here I'm going to start showing you the records here, and I'm going to show all my country finds up front, but I got some really cool finds, pop stuff and rock stuff too at the end that I was really fortunate to find. A lot of the stuff is Goodwill finds. Some of it is also antique shop stuff at this one place I talked about it. There's an antique mall in my town here. So, but to get started here, we got Tanya Tucker here. I haven't played this one yet. Called "What's Your Mama's Name?" Never had anything by her until now. This one, never seen this one. I found 2 copies of this at 2 different Goodwills. One Goodwill I visited in a town called Janesville, Wisconsin. And then I found this one at my Goodwill just up the road. And so one of these I'm going to just get rid of, but it's Jeannie C. Riley, The Generation Gap. And then I found another Jeannie C. Riley too on MGM, much major label there. Just Jeannie. So, and then some compilations here. Country All-Star Festival, and it's got a lot of stuff like I'm thinking here, Tex Ritter, Rose Maddox, Buck Owens, Wanda Jackson, a lot of those. Been finding a lot of the stuff is like compilations. Here's one with just 2. Always on the lookout for like Merle Haggard, Sonny James. And I'm always looking for like early folk stuff on Elektra, and this was like a compilation, early Elektra records compilation there, the folk scene. And can you see that this little record? It says Ripson's Records, Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. That's where I live, Oconomowoc. There's another one, the folk song tradition, also on that record store there. You can see that maybe. Here's Sergio Mendes, Brazil '66, Fool on the Hill, which is in excellent shape. And this is like a replacement copy. I had another copy of this that was kind of beat up, but Serendipity Singers there for you. This is a great kind of a, I don't know if it's like a, yeah, it's kind of a greatest hits, I guess, of Chris Christopherson there. And by the way, these are old sleeves that I recycled that I had. They didn't come with these sleeves in them, but here's a young country artist who I never had anything from, and she was in the that country music PBS series. She was like interviewed. It was Connie Smith, Cute and Country. I think this was her second ever record. And then I think this one came after that. This is Born to Sing, Connie Smith, like from the mid-60s. Here's Johnny Rivers, Rock and Roll. This is kind of like a compilation, kind of a greatest hits of him. It's a double album. Yeah, it's kind of a double album set there. Kind of a dark looking picture of him. Yeah. Here's a kind of classic rock guy, or well, I don't say classic, but note the high budget album art on this Bill Black's combo, Movin'. I haven't played this yet. Seemed to be in decent shape. I think it has some collectible value. Might be like worth 30 or 40 bucks maybe, I don't know. Another classic country guy, Faron Young. He was featured in that PBS documentary. He was kind of like a mover and shaker in Nashville there. You had to be on his good side or whatever to like get anywhere, I guess, at some time or another. Now here's Tammy Wynette. Of course, she had a real up and down life with her husband, on and off again relationship, and I can't think of his name, George Jones. I'm always on the lookout. I'm on the lookout for anything George Jones also. There's a Patsy Cline compilation here, Portrait of Patsy. Here's some kind of cheapy, I don't know what you call them, cheapy releases of like Hank Lachlan here on design, and T. Texas Tyler. And here's another Tammy Wynette, Tammy's Greatest Hits. I have played this one, sounds really good. And I got a Conway Twitty here. Of course, you know, he started in kind of like rock and roll, and he went to country very early on. So, and here's kind of like a. This one's got George Jones on it. Country duets with like Gene Pitney there, who was a kind of like a pop guy, and Melba Montgomery. I think he was like teamed up with her for a little bit. Here's another guy. I don't know. He's kind of a country guy, but this was kind of like a TV, something from a TV show. Rusty Draper, Swingin' Country. It's on Monument. And now we're getting, well, well, of course we all know the Everly Brothers started as kind of like rock and roll, and then they kind of went country. But this is a great record by them. I think really good copy, sounds pretty darn good. The Everly Brothers, Gone. Here's kind of a truck driver guy, that kind of trucking music, Red Sovine, probably one of the most famous of the kind of the songwriters about, you know, truck driving, trucking. Phantom 309. Here's a I didn't really know about this woman. She was a kind of more known as a songwriter than a performer, but she was like one of the pioneering women in country back in like the early 60s or mid 60s. This was Jeannie Seely, the Seely Style. So I was lucky to get that to some Monument. And then I found this one also. This is the first one I found by her, Jeannie Seely. So, and like I said, here's a George Jones and Melba Montgomery. What's in Our Heart. I have played this one. Sounds pretty good. Pretty good copy. Now I got a couple of more folky guys. I got like a, you know, Pete Seeger, probably all the Pete Seeger you'd ever need. World of Pete Seeger. And this was like a replacement copy. This was like the Weavers together again. Kind of like a comeback record or reunion record. Here's another country compilation here. Country Stars. It's got everybody: Charlie Rich, Dolly Parton, Floyd Kramer, Jerry Reed, Chet Atkins, Hank Snow, Waylon Jennings, Jim Reeves, Porter Wagoner, and many more there. So I haven't played that one yet. It's really good. Probably the last of the country stuff here. Buck Owens. I do have other Buck Owens stuff, so probably got like all the Buck Owens I'd ever need there. So close up. Now I got some classic rock stuff. I'm always on the lookout for like original groups from the mid-60s. This I found these two I found at this antique shop at different times. In Original Animals, The House of the Rising Sun here on MGM, of course. I have played that one, sounds pretty good. This one, Animalization, sounds pretty good too. It's got some scribbling and stuff on the front and the back, but it contains their single "Don't Bring Me Down." That's probably one of my favorite early Animals tracks. And I got like the classic kind of space age bachelor stuff. Martin Denny, The Enchanted Sea. I've never come across this record before. I got pretty much every other Martin Denny record. Now they're collectible. I've seen copies of this before. Led Zeppelin. It was the soundtrack. Song remains the same. I haven't played this yet. Looks in be in decent shape. I think a long time ago I might have had this record, or I think my brother has this record too. But I finally got a copy of Imagine by John Lennon. It's in pretty good shape. These two records I was really kind of excited to come across. I've never come across any early Del Shannon, and I think this is one of his last. This record probably has one of his last like hits on it, or hit singles. Maybe you can correct me, but this is Del Shannon, 1,661 seconds, and it's on Amy Records. I just want to show you the label real quick. See what great condition this is in. See that? Looks pretty good. I have played this through a couple times. Sounds pretty darn good. It's mono record. So that's Del Shannon. And I found this at a Goodwill for $1. And I think according to my Goldmine records catalog, it's probably worth, to a collector, it could be worth like at least $40 maybe. This was another one I was really excited to find, and this is in like mint condition also. And I found this one at the Goodwill just up the road from me. Jackie DeShannon. I think this was maybe her second record. And I can't remember if it's mono. I think it might be mono. I'm not sure. But the jacket and the disc are like excellent. I just want to show you real quick. It's got the original Liberty sleeve. You see that? See how good that looks? How clean that looks? So, and a lot of what she has on here. I mean, she did write some famous songs and perform some on her own. A lot of these are covers of other things, like some were like folk songs at the time. You can see what they were there. So, and I'm always on the lookout for decent copies of the Moody Blues. They're hard to find in good shape. I mean, you still come across them, but I found a good copy of Search of the Lost Chord, one of my favorite Moody Blues albums here. And not really a big fan of Richie Furay, but he was from that, you know, the whole Buffalo Springfield, kind of that class of the folk rock mid-60s thing. And this is the Richie Furay band. Haven't played this yet. I'll get around to playing it, so I'll probably like it. And another guy who's got his famous brother, but this is Livingston Taylor, and it's Over the Rainbow. And I can relate to that expression. I can only know what he's thinking about. A lot of times that's the way I look when I'm like meditating on how my life is going. So that's pretty much it. This video is coming up on 20 minutes, a little longer than I hope, but I hope, however the winter is by you, I hope you're coping with it, or whatever the holidays and things like that. So Without further ado, I'm going to cut this one short, and I hope whatever you like, you play, got time to play and enjoy it, and I always say, you know, keep it groovy. So I'll see you again, I hope, real soon. Bye for now.